Right, phone is basically out of the case. I've taken it out of the case so I can dust the lenses on this. Basically, we finally had some rain early this morning. I noticed that we had some very heavy rain. I don't know how much because I've got nothing to capture any of it. We'll have to see if we can find something anyway. We've got a visitor. Yes, Mekati is here. And she's just been given some food. So, wild Mekati is here. Getting something to eat. She's already running out of food. I've got to get her more food. Got this mother-in-law's tongue, or Sansevieria. I planted that up yesterday. We've just had some rain. It's barely touched the surface, to be honest. I need to get more spring water today. I'm going to go to Keston this time. I'm not going to the partition, I'm going to Keston. It's further away, but it's easy to get out. So I've got to get a load more bottles, basically, and fill up the buggy, and I'm going to do a full load test. But yes, this is a repotted and slightly separated mother-in-law's tongue. I did put up a post this morning. We'll take a look at this first. I wish we just need more rain, really. I've put spring water on it, but we need rainwater, to be honest. And this is the corner around the downpipe, the greenhouse downpipe. And I did top up inside with a few more white stones. I found a bag of white stones. There was 2 bags, but the night after I went back to get the rest, they'd already gone. It's end of season for the rhubarb now. I've not really picked anything. And the second smaller one finally, I'm hoping for it to take off next year, and next year I'll be able to finally crop some of the rhubarb and see all the sheep's wool slowly decomposing into the ground. Ferns, onopordum, and we've got this blackberry which I'll probably repot again next year. But it's nice to finally have some rain. Oh, it's definitely fresher, but you can still sense a humidity in the air. Like I said, I put up this post of a random rose that came up. Now this came out of a tin. I don't know if I've still got it. No. But the seeds dated from 2010, 2011, and they came from Auntie Chrissy's old family home on Spring Lane, when I basically took the camellia out. About 4 months, nothing came up in the tray. So I threw the compost, and look, one of them came up. So I've got a random rose. And as you can see, it's got 5 leaves, not 6, not 7, it's got 5 leaves, so it's a proper rose. It's an unknown rose. It's pretty much like this grape here. This grape came from the side of the pavement on my gaff road. And it's unusual, it's all red stemmed, but I won't know if it ever bothers to fruit ever, or if it fruits next year, what kind of fruit it is. So we've got this grape here, unknown grape. We've also got this unknown rose growing right up against the greenhouse. So this corner is pretty much full. Tomatoes. We've got some commercial tomatoes fruiting here. and they're already falling off. I've barely touched them and they're falling off. Let's see if I can even find them again. I think there was 3 of them, but God blimey, that's how ripe they are basically. And the same's been happening at the other end of the garden. You're touching things and they're basically falling off. Got a tray of ferro cactus that came from somewhere, and I thought, look at all these lots of ferros in a pot. I'll get them and just split them basically. So I got all these ferro cactus and I've basically split them up into their own pots apart from these 2. I'm not sure what they are, maybe Townsendianus or something like that. All in soba noodle pots. We've got this little ivy and hopefully it will hug the wall and go up the wall. I don't know what these are. These little seeds, probably Herb Robert or something. But yeah, and that random rose, very interesting. Compost is filling up nicely. We've also got these tomatoes, but again they've got to ripen. This one has started. We've got this big tomato here. It's going to be very nice. I've tried to tie it up as much as possible. This one's pretty much finished now. We've got just a pepper here. We've got peppers, a couple of peppers. You can see that this hornbeam has suffered with the dry and the heat. It's still alive, but basically it's died back a season's growth, and I'm going to have to cut this off. But it's a bonsai, so the stem's only going to get older looking and thicker. It just means that I've got to cut back the not so live parts, and it will just be even more compact. So that's the hornbeam bonsai. This, one of the limes from Ding-a-Ling Link, struggled during the heat and I've had to cut it right back, so that's pretty much a bonsai now in itself. More peppers. These have been a struggle. I've had to keep spraying them with bug spray. Again, the heat. But look, we've got some reasonable sized bullhorn type peppers here. We've got quite a few of them. They've yet to ripen. This one is just starting to turn a bit red. We've got one there as well. We've got another here. So we've got quite a few peppers on this plant. 1, 2, 3, 4, and one on there. We've got one here, a couple here. We've got this Gymnoclicium flowering at the moment. Hibotan style. Chlorophyll free Gymnoclicium. Still need to give these plants more water. The cacti still need more water, to be honest. This is more like the rescue section, but again they've done quite well. It's Echinopsis, Infinity. As you can see, the growing point got knocked and now I've got pups on it. This is one of the ones from John Lansdale. And I've got a stock tray from John as well. Stock John L. John Lansdale. You can see all these different plants. I don't think these little ones are going to do much. Too much soil, not enough plant. But these were rescues from John Langsdale. But you can see they're all right. They just struggled with the bright sun and the heat. There's a baby jumping spider there. Tony peas, Mammillaria harniana, needed cutting and rerouting again. And that's Tony peas, Ferrocactus. You'd be surprised that they say that cacti don't need water, but it's not true at all. They do need water. That corner's Tony peas plants. Look at that. Echinopsis subdenudata. And we've got Tufty there. That Tufty's finally starting to put on normal growth. And the only reason these are doing any good is because I've been giving them spring water, not tap water. That's why they're so healthy. I mean, back in 1999, they were pretty good, and then the water quality just went downhill, so there's no point giving them tap water. And I've literally almost had arguments with people where I said, oh, I'll give my collection only spring water, and said, oh, you don't want to do that, and they keep praising tap water, but it's basically poison. Now, you see that's finally coming out clear and unmarked. It's malformed, but that Notocactus Herteri rosiolutus is finally growing back normal. These plants are finally growing clean, and it's because I'm not giving them tap water. So I'm going to have an issue with these getting bigger and bigger and bigger and not having enough room, basically. And these seedlings, 1, 2, 3 seedlings from this Notocactus. But I might actually be able to get a decent sized plant of Echinopsis subdenudata simply because I'm not using tap. And yes, I've shifted a few plants around yesterday. I had all the Christmas cacti there. The sun's lower in the sky now. I've not really got much shielding left at all now. They'll probably go next week. These bin lids on the north side. And this is where the Christmas cacti are now, and they'll stay there until late autumn, and then I'll take them in, and then hopefully they'll flower during the winter. So now that there's less light, I can put them up there. But yeah, even the rescue plants, this one didn't seem to like being in full sun. I don't know why. Mediolabivia steinbachii. For some reason, it didn't like being in full sun. So I had to move it a couple of times. But yeah, a lot of succulent stuff has been moved around. I don't think this Echinopsis AirCI or hybrid is going to come to nothing. I literally took cuttings off of it. I'm pretty sure these are the cuttings off of it. The offsets or pups. Again, already dry. But the bigger they grow, I'll be able to put them into better compost. So they're basically pups off of this Echinopsis here. And they're probably more. And I'll mention that I got these European lime trees, Tilia cordata. They were literally growing in the tracks on Tramlink or at the side of the track, and I was literally there on Ding-a-ling-link 2 o'clock in the morning digging all these trees up. Lime trees, you see I got quite a few. I lost one, I think, and there's 2 or 3 down here, and you know what, they're all gone already. Didn't take long, but the contractors came through, they removed all of them, so lucky I got in when I did. I've saved these lime trees to plant elsewhere because the contractors for Ding-a-ling-link, they got rid of all the others, exterminated them, and that's not normal in this country. In the UK, I've never known European lime, Tilia cordata, to self-seed and actually grow, and it just seemed that the ballast at Ding-a-ling-link was the perfect environment for them, which is very strange. So yeah, we got these limes, and we've got an elm in a pot, English elm. Still got trees. I have to see whether I end up planting any of these natively. Hornbeams. We've literally got a potato growing here. There will be tubers in the ground, but what's the point in moving all this out of the way, to be honest? Might as well just leave them in the ground. We've got this little conifer again, somehow it survived through the summer. Finally we've had rain, and these strawberries at least are doing all right. These cuttings from 275, they're going to have to be planted. 2 of them at least are going to have to be planted permanently. And this is my father's grape that I done a cutting of about 2 or so years ago. Look at it, it's gone all the way up, and we've got 3 different branches that have gone all the way across to the end. Unbelievable. In as little as 2, coming up to 3 years, it's gone all the way along the top of this trellis, and there's a 3rd one in the middle, a little one. So you got 1, 2, 3, and then when it gets to about here, I'll have to cut it. There's a few tomatoes in there still. That one doesn't seem to want to ripen. There's a few hidden about. But even with all the heat and the sun, they've not really ripened very quickly. There's another one there, little orange tomato there, and a random plum tree that decided to come up. Probably came up from seed. We've got this random plum tree that just came up, so I might as well just bloody leave it. Hopefully I've got room to put my pond somewhere here still without having to dig it up. It's been a struggle to keep these 2 trees watered as well. They've been in a sheltered corner. We've got a plum, not a plum, we've got a cherry, and we've got a Bramley apple. They need to go in the ground, one of them at least to the allotment, one here, or maybe both on the allotment. See, we've had a bit of a victim there. That's one of the European limes, Tilia cordata. It's kicked the bucket. Oh. And the rain's topped up the water bowl. The Cineraria silver dust is doing very well in the boots. Everything's pretty much been harvested now. The potatoes are gone. I harvested the potatoes in the bigger tumble dry drum, and I was very disappointed. Now the red potatoes are alright. There's a few whites, but not good at all, I'm afraid. There are lots of them and they're all very small. And some of them look like they had bacterial rot on the ends. Oh dear. I had one solitary pumpkin or gourd and I ate it and it was really nice. It was a good tasting pumpkin squash and it would have made a nice pumpkin pie, but I had it cooked. Linda cooked it up. I saved the seed, put it in a pot in the shed, and it got tipped over by a squirrel or a rat or something, and every single one of them got eaten, so buggered. Ah, typical vermin. Apple tree still humming away. I can't remember the name of it now. Lots and lots and lots of tomatoes, juicy tomatoes. They just need to ripen. There's lots of tomatoes here. They just need to turn a little bit quicker. Oh. Hoping that lime gets through the winter into the spring and shoots off again. That has struggled. The birch has struggled. It's not going to be a big birch, it's going to be a skinny birch. The mint is flowering now. We've got flowers on the mint. And here's the buggy. The cargo buggy. You can see that I've got Jubilee clips or hose clips there. There's one here at the bottom. There's another one under here. We got two here. And thicker bars. We've got thicker bars, so there should be no issue with this thing collapsing now. And I've got basically a spider clip at the back now. You can barely see it, but there's a spider clip. And it's barely moving at all now, which is good. Mexican stonecrop is doing well. In the troughs, I lost one trough, it fell down, and then I put them into pots, so we got this Mexican stonecrop is doing quite well. Much happier when it's had a bit of rain. And we've got 3 in pots here. And this is another arm of my late father's black Hamburg red grape, and as you can see it's made its way across and now it's going that way on its way down to the other side, the other end of the greenhouse. Flipping out. Hopefully I have lots and lots of grapes, but you can see that we've got 1 stem here, we've got 2, we've got 3. Hopefully lots of grapes in the future. But no, not much going on out front. It's just a load of rubbish and crap, to be honest. Tony P said he should be back by early September. He hopes to be back by early September. And then we'll get back to work again. It's needed. It's been a long time and we need to start working on this again, tidying it up. And unfortunately more fence has got to go up, even less hedge. We've got to try and put water butts in. So fence everywhere. I don't want it, but I've got no choice. Some bits might have to come off that crabapple and the spindle. I try not to, but might not have any choice, to be honest. But I wanted to keep as much hedge as possible, but unfortunately I need water butts and they have to go there, so we need to clear another third of this away just to get the water butts in. This spot here, unfortunately, so that's going to have to be more fence somehow. But yeah, we finally had some rain. I think I'm going to end it there because there's not really much to talk about. I've said pretty much everything I need to say. It's all humming along towards the autumn. Potted that up. They've been put into their own pots. Topped up the soak away with a few more white rocks that I found. Random roses come up. Hoping this ivy will grow up this corner. I don't mind having ivy on one corner. Be nice, but it hasn't attached to the wall yet. Just needs a damn good clean. That's what it needs, a damn good clean. We've got this rosemary. We've got wandering dew here, Tradescantia, in the pot, and there's another one over there. These were cuttings, Tradescantia. So hoping that this will power into next year, because I've tried for years and years and years to have my own rosemary and it keeps getting destroyed. Ah, yeah. That is about it. See, more tomatoes. They keep coming back, tiny little yellow ones. And look, there's another one here, look. Another big blush tomato. Hopefully it will ripen the same time as the other one over there. I think there's a crack in it. There is a crack in it, but hopefully it won't rot. So we've got that one there, and we've got one over here as well. Big tomatoes. And that one needs to do something, I don't know what, but he's very behind. We've got lots of seed on this sunflower. I need to harvest them in the next week or so. And we had a secondary bloom, and that's got seeds. This is weird because this one decided it wasn't going to set properly. I don't know why, but them seeds aren't viable. Weird. So when that tomato ripens and it's done, I'll be getting rid of that one. This was the other pumpkin or squashy gourd. It had loads and loads and loads of flowers and stuff on it, but it never produced a fruit. I don't know why. Well, there's one here, but it's too late now. It's flipping August, and it's only just decided it's got enough energy and enough light to grow fruit. We'll have to see by October, but I don't know if they're going to be right by then. I think it just didn't have enough light from the onset as it was growing in this corner fighting the tomatoes. We'll have to see. More mint. And the elder that's got a more purple tint to it, you won't really tell until earlier in the season. Snakebite maple's not doing too bad. It seems a bit more open and airy. Again, another plant that I've got to keep an eye on and decide what I'm cutting off and what I'm leaving. I'd prefer it to go up really than falling over, but the plant seems to want to cascade rather than go up. Right, I think that is it. I've got to go to Kest and get more spring water. I've probably got about 3 or 4 more loads before I can stop watering the collection, that's my guess. At least we've had a bit of rain that quenched the garden. It's definitely needed it. We've had about 3 or 4 showers, heavy showers before, and then we had a very heavy one early this morning. No thunder, but very heavy. It's just passable as beneficial because the ground is so dry and affected by the last 5.5 months. We've had little rain the last 5.5 months until just recently we've had rain, but it's fresh but still very muggy. Anyway, I think I'm going to end it here. Quick update on the garden now. It's just humming along into autumn basically. Tomatoes are trying to ripen. One of the pumpkin gourds didn't really move quick enough. Random rows came up. There were shallots there. I had shallots. I dug them up and I used them in the drought rations video, basically making that sauce. And garlic as well, garlic and shallots, I used them in the video to make my sauce. And the mashed potato. So I'm going to end it here. And yeah, basically that was an update. Very late August at the Old Flat Garden.